Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic readings, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis, the Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at the newly joined Columbia Center for Spiritual Living and Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. Today is March 7th, and this morning's reading comes from The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. And here's what I opened it up, and this is what it has to offer. Hope is a spiritual potential in everyone's mind. Too many people use it as a fantasy, as a delusion, as a means of dodging the decisions that need to be made at the moment. But many times I have noted that people in trouble need to have the potential of hope revived in their consciousness while still realizing that the decisions of the present cannot be avoided. The hope revived clears their negative considerations a bit. It lessens their questions regarding their trouble. It starts them thinking ahead with some optimism, slight though it may be. It quickens the spirit within them and lets them begin to lessen their darkness. What came up for me reading that is that decisions is a serial, ongoing process. And sometimes I can let myself get stuck in the delusion of thinking I'm not deciding, which is a decision in and of itself to not decide. And this whole idea of hope opening the door to just decide, and to understand that I can choose and I can choose again and I can choose again and I can choose again. But to lean into the courage of making a decision, even when it's tough, even when it's challenging, that image of it cracks the door open a bit to let some light in. So I'm not blinded by the whole light at once, but I'm also not staying in the darkness, wishing and hoping that the situation will just magically go away so I don't have to make a decision. I find that uplifting, that okay, I can just decide, and that opens the door. And then I can make another decision that opens the door a bit wider, and another that opens the door a bit wider. That I don't have to solve everything in this moment. People who know me know that I'm really clear about the definition of an emergency. If nobody's bleeding, dying, or on fire, I don't have an emergency. I might have an urgency, but it's not an emergency. And so for me, kind of taking a look at the situation, is it an emergency? Let me do my first threat assessment. Is somebody bleeding, dying, or on fire? Nope. Okay. How urgent is it? And that allows me to more accurately discern the type of decision that is required in this moment. And it gives me some breathing room. And then I can continue to assess and make different decisions. All of which I find a profoundly spiritual process. How about you? How is your decision making? Do you spend more time paralyzed than deciding? Is it fluid for you? Is it easy for you? Do you have something I can learn that makes it easier? Because I have the answers I have for me. I certainly don't have all the answers for anybody. So Just curious. If you want to participate in sharing your perspective, you can do that in the chat, in whatever platform you're on. I'll pause for a moment to allow time for that if you choose. Okay, I'm not seeing any sharing, so I will move us into our time of meditation. This is a timed 5-minute meditation. If you're new to meditation, I invite you to just embrace this as a practice session. To just be for 5 minutes. Be with whatever happens. Be with the noise outside. Be with the noise inside. Be with the noise inside your head. Just be present with whatever happens. Don't try to push anything away. Don't try to create anything to happen. Just be for 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. one breath, one mind, one life, one peace, one power, everywhere present. Omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence. This one is all. It is the unseen, it is the seen. It is the expressed, and it is yet to be expressed infinite possibility. Formed and unformed, nameless, limitless, infinite, eternal. And yet I know it by many, many names. And I recognize in this moment that it is beyond the limitation of a name. It is beyond the human assignment of attributes to it. It is all that and so much more. More than my human rational brain can conceive. And so I experience it. I know it. I recognize it. As I move away everything that is not it, to become aware of, to commune with the divine self at the center of my being. And as I do, I am aware of the inextricable, uncompromised bond of unity, of one. That being made out of it, I must contain it. The very essence of me, the very substance of me, is this one divine infinite being. And then the truth of one. What is true of me must be true of all creation. Every form, every function, every expression, irrespective of the limitations my brain assigns. The truth of being is that every expression of creation is made of creation. And consciousness itself, reality itself, the thing itself, whatever we call it, everything we experience in this physical realm is that expressing. And so I am continuously in relationship with the infinite. And the infinite continuously in relationship with me. That this idea of separation is simply a navigational tool in this human realm, that it has never made anyone separate. There's nowhere to separate to, nothing to separate from. So I claim and affirm that this day is a day of advancing awareness of one life, one power, one presence. And as all of creation becomes aware, the energy of unity is expanded, is grown. is undeniably experienced. And as it is, it awakens that recognition within, the self recognizing the self, recognition of the origin of all, the continuity, the continuation, the connection, the inseparable reality of one. And it is from this recognition, it is from this truth that I decide. It is from this place of wholeness, from this place of completeness, that I choose, knowing that every choice is a momentary decision, a momentary action, and I get to choose and choose again. I'm grateful for the activity of law that acts upon every decision, that acts upon every choice, that mirrors back exactly what it is I chose, exactly what it is I am choosing, informing me, providing clarity to surface the thought operations of habit in the unconscious, providing me the opportunity to transform, to neutralize, to choose again. And I am grateful. I'm grateful for that impartial activity of law, the activity of creation that just simply says yes to itself, that hears in absolute clarity, that sees in absolute clarity, that simply acts upon what it is given. No filter, no reruns, no send it back for refinement. It simply acts upon it and makes it so. And so knowing it is complete, knowing that the word spoken is the word fulfilled, I choose to trust that this day is divinely guided, that everything I see, experience, is a reflection of this word spoken. And every experience is an opportunity to choose again, to continue or to change, simply to choose again. And so I let go. I let go and I celebrate with every breath the harmonious operation of one, knowing that is all that can be. I let go. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.